Swan. This is the Royal Hangover. You just saw episode 5, so we're at the mid-season point of the Royals this season, season 3, and I'm thrilled tonight because I have 2 wonderful special guests. One you may know, one you may not. It's sort of a secret weapon. To my left, Mr. Stephen Colletti is here.
Oh, wow, look at that. A lot of people cheering.
That's right, that's right. They love you, Stephen Colletti, as do they. And to my right is Lindsay Wolfington. She's the show's music supervisor. The comments section, just put it right on the face page. And Jeffrey is here, of course. Jeffrey, who really never took to any nicknames this season so far. But we're only at the midway point. There's a long way to go.
And I didn't even get clapped, so.
There was
He says he doesn't have clap. That was
okay, wow. You learned something today.
Didn't even get clapped.
Many other things.
Oh, it's the Royals. You never know.
I see a nickname.
Wow, yeah, great. Yep.
Just put your comments, put your questions, and if they're music related, because we know I personally get a lot of questions about music on the show. Lindsay's here, and she would love to answer those questions. Stephen, I want to start with you because normally we have someone like an actor from the show. Sometimes we have somebody from outside the show, and I always like when we do because as a fan of the show, you sort of straddle the line between the people who are watching this, who have questions, and you also have an insider perspective because of our relationship and because you're an actor in general.
Yes.
So you've been watching the show.
Yes.
In terms of tonight's episode.
But I haven't been, it's like, watching the show, it's kind of like I have a bone to pick where it's like I don't want to watch the show because it's like he hires all British actors and there's American actors here and we're like, wait a minute, even Australian ones. But reluctantly, I watch a show and then it turns out I like the show.
Well, when James was here,
I have to continue to watch it. I want to boycott it, but I can't.
You know, this episode was directed by Lafferty, James Lafferty, and written by Scarlett Lacey.
How do we call it a viral clap? How do we do like an internet clap? Is there a word for this?
No, they post hearts.
Hit the hearts. James Lafferty. Hit the hearts.
See, look.
All right.
So, but when James was here, we asked him if he had a British accent. Do you have a British accent?
Oh, well, yes. Between me and my shower, and that's about it. Sometimes in my
we
car, depending on the song.
We don't get to hear it?
You got to taste it right
You're
now.
the one who brought it up. You brought it up.
I'm
just
saying. I
saying.
need to prepare something.
All right, well, so then we probably shouldn't talk about that.
I'm not going to fall for this trap. Not right now. Not right now. I'm an actor. I need to prepare.
Good. I'm going to segue into love triangles then. You good with that one?
Perfect.
All right.
Tee it up over there. I'm going to go back to drinking.
The love triangles are strong in this episode. Obviously, we've been dealing with Catherine, who's in the middle of 2 princes, Robert on one side, Liam on the other. So that's a big love triangle. And then in this episode, we saw the return of Beck. So Beck came back around just when things are going pretty good for Jasper and Eleanor.
Not a fan of that Beck.
No? He brought bacon.
I wanted him to hit him in the face. Liam, he tackled him, he brought him back. I was like, the doors are closed now. Can we just fucking sock him in the face?
But that's interesting to me.
We do a viral sock in the face? Hit that.
They don't have
Don't
that.
give him a heart. Don't do that.
But if you remember, Beck was so sweet to Eleanor in the Monaco episode from the past, and it leads me to this. Timing is everything with a relationship, right? Both people have to be in the same place at the same time because in the Monaco episode, Beck was really into her, or she was really into him, and he was sort of still married and dealing with that. Just that, exactly. And he couldn't commit. But now he comes around, he's all interested, he's all flirty, but she seemingly has moved on to Jasper and has a really good thing with Jasper. So it only leads me to say, what do you think? Do you think Jasper and Eleanor is going to stick? Or do you think there's trouble ahead?
Well, I hope they stick. See, it seems like they can't avoid trouble though.
I know,
this is the sad part. I feel like Eleanor is she's really pushing for greener pastures. I feel like she's looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're approaching something that could be calm. And of course, Robert shows up, and then there's more. And I think she's going to realize that oh my God, I live in the palace. There's never going to be greener pastures. I'm stuck in this for the rest of my life. It's like a Sisyphean task. Rolling the rock up the hill. As soon as it gets to the top, it just rolls back to the bottom, and she has to start again. This worries me for her because she's been doing pretty well, managing a little bit of drama here and there. But if she continues to like if the relationship is on the rocks constantly, there's more things thrown her way, I feel like there's a major bender in her future. And by major bender, not one that's just a normal night for her on a Saturday night, but one that is dangerous, that she might not come out of. And so I'm concerned for her.
You think the same, Lynn?
Well, I feel like I've been working in TV too long. I'm like, oh, episode 1, they kind of reconciled. Episode 5, we make out on the throne. Things are amazing. Like, things can't last.
Always
right?
good. Nice throne.
I want
Right,
them
I mean,
to.
obviously,
I hope they
sex
do.
on the throne.
I like them together. Do you guys like them together?
Yeah.
Jasper North. Jasper North.
Let's do a poll, shall we? We love those polls. I like to see the stuff streaming across the webcast. Here's our poll. When you're in a relationship, this is a good one. Let's actually bring it back to this. If you're in a relationship like Liam, Robert, Catherine, is it ever okay to get involved with a friend or sibling's ex? Can you ever get involved with somebody like let's say you're friends with someone, they break up, you have a spark. Is that okay, or is there a code? If it's okay, hearts. If it's not okay, mean, angry face.
All right. What's happening?
What's your take on it?
It should be different. Yeah.
I mean, I think you sometimes you can't help who you love, right? So I agree.
The heart wants what it wants.
Exactly. Like, there is a code about things, but at the same time, there are only so many things you can help. I actually have a friend who married a girl who had previously dated one of his good friends, but he asked the friend before he asked her out.
Okay, so he tried to be above board.
Yes, exactly. And they're married, have kids, and
As
everything.
opposed to Liam and Catherine and Robert, who nobody's talking to anybody.
Yes, but it's not like he could be like, Robert, hello, can I date your ex-girlfriend?
Well,
Slightly
what do you think?
Things need to be worked out a little bit. I feel like it's either meet up in a park and a punch for guys, or girls, it's a long conversation, a few bottles of wine, but
No.
Like you said. Well, is it meet up in a park too?
I'm sure.
Oh, all right. I like
Wine,
that.
is no good can come from that.
But yeah, I mean, it's possible, but you got to work it out. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe if I put it off, like it'll be easier down the line. Just do it. Just rip the Band-Aid off, have the conversation, and then you move on. But as long as I feel like time has passed, and again, if the heart is true, and it's just not just some sort of a fling, flash in the pan, I think you got to go for it.
That was a good segue. You said true, and Truman the cat came right through.
I don't know
if he made it on camera, but the sound guy's loving him because he's walking all over the gels. And he's digging. Steven's going to get him.
A lot of mixed reaction, though. A lot
so
of people
it's
saying yes
divided.
and no. We're seeing hearts and a lot of angry
there should be a
faces.
code.
Nice.
Yeah, but a lot of people are rooting for Liam, though. They want Liam to.
I thought you were going to bring
stay
him
with her.
I agree. I'm kind of rooting for Liam, too.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Hold on.
Can't come in.
The one thing Truman doesn't like is he doesn't like to be held.
This is a nice suit, by the way.
He does like Steven, but he doesn't usually like to be held. Stephen Colletti, winning love and breaking hearts. The internet breaks because Stephen Colletti and Truman are bonded.
Just give him a little scratch on the head.
This is boozy. It's very interesting. Just to finish the thought, and then we'll move on. I agree that I think that Catherine and Liam clearly have a connection. And in this episode, Catherine said, look, I don't want to be the one to she's deferring to Liam. She's saying, I don't want to ruin your relationship with your brother because of something we did when we thought he was dead. But I need you to be above board. I need you to take the lead and talk to your brother. And it puts her in a really weird position, but it's a position that I have to say I understand. She deferred to Liam and said, are you going to tell him? And so far he hasn't told him. So and I think it's an interesting distinction. We haven't seen them together romantically since Robert returned. Right? And so that's, I think, as honorable as you can be in that situation. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. And I know a guy, and I'm thinking next week we might see more about that.
Interesting.
You're the guy.
What was the song that was playing when they were at the tree? Do you remember?
It's a band called Hawks. I think I'm saying it right. And the
Okay.
song is called Sister. We used another song by them earlier this season, too.
Great
They're
tree,
really good.
even better band.
You know what? You
There
know
you
what I
go.
want to do. You know what I want to do. And now I'm going to set the bar really high, Lens. I want to have a musical guest on the Royal Hangover before the end of the season, and Hawks is a contender.
Yeah.
Because he's a
Awesome.
singer-songwriter. We could fit him in my living room. So that would be good. Jeffrey, what kind of questions? What's going on the face page?
To go into what you were saying, Tara wants to know if you were in Catherine's position, who would you choose?
Ooh, I get to choose one of the princes?
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I don't know that much about Robert yet. He seems like a savvy negotiator when he got Cyrus to commit to a privy council, and he had a little spark in his eye with the queen. He seems like he could, he may have, that we may not know everything we know about Robert yet. He seems like a great guy, but I have more history with Liam, so I'm just saying, I'm.
Wouldn't it be the opposite?
Well,
Like Robert was kind of my first love, and I'd just been with Liam for 3 weeks or
Oh
whatever.
no, I'm saying me personally. As far as Catherine goes, I gotta wait and see how it plays out. I don't know.
interesting. You ratted out.
No, I'm just saying. I've spent more TV time with Liam.
Yeah.
That's all.
I guess that's why my knee-jerk reaction is hashtag King Liam.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But we don't know yet. Here's what's interesting about television: what you put in front of an audience. You could have all kinds of history that the audience didn't see, i.e., Catherine and Robert. The audience didn't see them together. They didn't see how they were together, and if he was kind to her, and if they had a spark. They've not seen any of that. They've only seen the Liam side of things.
Right.
So you're going to lean to what you're familiar with, but we have to give it time to see what becomes
Yeah.
of Robert and Catherine. They may be great together. We don't know yet.
There's a great scene at the tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
That's our
song.
first glimpse of that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Let's. What else is going on? Do we have any poll
Yes.
results?
Oh yeah.
That's split.
Everyone was split. There was a lot of people saying that they would pick Liam though.
Okay.
Liam's
Nice.
the big
Nice.
winner for this.
Right.
They do want to know. Ailey, I think is her name, is saying, is Robert going to send Jasper away? A lot of people are nervous that Jasper is going to not meet up to Robert's standards and kind of just.
Well, it's interesting because I think in last.
Nothing.
I don't know anything.
we saw
Come
a little.
on.
We saw a little eye.
No, Mark's always up to something.
You
I didn't
better have
say
a good
anything.
poker face, Liz. Because Mosley was here and he gave away spoilers. He's never been back.
Yeah.
I
Never
didn't
been
say
back.
anything.
Last week's episode, Jasper seemed to think that his meeting with Robert didn't go as well as Eleanor thought it went. So Jasper seemed to think that Robert was going to cause some trouble. But again, we haven't seen Robert interact with many people yet. So we don't know how these relationships are. We know that he's good with Eleanor. We heard that he was good with Eleanor from day one, but it's hard to say.
Rebecca says she loves the music. What's your process in selecting the music, and how do you have a
Why
dream?
Rebecca got to ask my question? Jeez, Rebecca, stand down. I mean, come on. No, it's a great. I was going to ask you the same thing, Lynn.
Do you guys have a dream band or a song for the series?
That's really hard, don't you think? Last year I knew season 3 was coming back in January, so I was able to start listening for music for it for like 6 months before we even shot anything. So, songs like tonight's Sparrow and Princess and King.
Right, how great is
And
that?
last week we had the song Oh Brother. Like, these are songs I'm like, they're perfect, they're amazing, if they fit the right scene. A lot of the times you have like a song that says exactly what your show would say, but you never get that scene to actually put it in where it works. So
Is that how it works in your office? Like a song comes along and it's Princess and it plays and do you run out to your intern and go, it's perfect?
sometimes actually King, was one of those that I came across, and I actually sent to the promo department at E! Because it felt like a promo song. I didn't know if we'd ever have like an upbeat moment for it.
Right.
So that happened very naturally kind of after the point. But
As music supervisor, what is the process? Are you talking to every label in town? Are you talking to independent artists? Do they know how to find you? Like, how's it all work?
yeah, so I'm on every major label and publisher's mailing list and radar, and they know what I'm working on. They know I'm working on the Royals. Now that we've been on a couple seasons, they know what this
It's a
show
little
sounds
easier,
like.
yeah.
If there's a new London Grammar song, they send it to me, things like that. Bands we've given
And there
love
is.
to. Yeah, there is. But yeah, and I work with a lot of people who represent indie artists because we always need good indie music on the show. Like Hawks is a great indie artist who actually just got signed. But when we picked the song for the episode, he was still indie. And Mark and I have always loved like finding the next up and coming artist, which is really fun.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the show, I think, when we find that perfect song that really makes a scene come alive. And it's interesting how if you play a song that's too slow for a scene, the scene is painful to watch. And if you play a song that's too fast, it seems like you're missing a lot of emotion. And it's the same scene. The scene's already been cut together. You're just trying different music, and then you find that right song. And sometimes we'll just place a song, and it'll score what's already been cut.
Yeah, I think this episode is a good example of that because I think I emailed you Princess by Max Jury like a week before this was in editing. And
Don't eat that.
Oh, man.
He's eating
God,
tape.
The cat is eating tape.
Okay, now it's become a
playing
toy. Sorry, Lindsay.
No, it's okay. And then the Charlotte O.C. song that we actually used in the surveillance room with Jasper doubting his relationship with Eleanor was something else initially.
Steven,
and I
get
was like,
that.
we got to do better. I don't even remember what it was.
Meredith
but-
actually asked the question. She said she loved that song. It said
good.
Flight of the Sparrow. Is that?
Oh, Sparrow is the song at the end
Oh,
by
okay.
Tom Odell, who is awesome.
Yes.
And he actually has another song called Daddy, which I really wanted to use this season, but we never had the right scene for it.
Yeah, we never had.
Obviously,
All the fathers were gone.
right?
Well, listen, you do a great job, Lindsay. A lot of the fans know that you did One Tree Hill together for a long time, for almost 10 years. And it's been a pleasure, and you always do such a great job. So I think viral applause.
Viral applause.
I think
Hearts.
online hearts. Online hearts.
Send them.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Hearts for
I don't
Lindsay.
see him yet.
Exactly. Listen, should we call my mom and see what's going on?
All right.
I look forward to
There
my
they are.
mom's.
John's heart's coming in, you guys.
There's the Lindsay hearts.
Oh, yay.
How good is
Thank
that?
you.
That's awesome.
I think Truman needs his own web series, right?
He's really damn entertaining, isn't
Look
he?
at that tail. He's thinking about something.
All right. Let's hope she's
Mom
home.
on speed dial.
Let's hope she's home.
Good son. Now you're gonna throw under the bus.
Hello.
Hello, Mom. It's your son, Mark.
Hi, Marky. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, Mom?
I'm great.
Am I doing my announcer voice?
No, not tonight.
Okay, good.
Hi, Mr. Schwan.
Steven's here.
Hi, Steven.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I miss you. And your cookies. And Pontiac, Illinois. Shout out to Illinois.
Hey, how did you like the program tonight? It was good, wasn't it?
Very impressed. Directed by James Lafferty.
That's right.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's right.
What a hump.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah, it was a good one. Scarlett Lacey wrote it. Scarlett's here. And Lindsay Wolfington, who does the music. Lindsay did the music with me at One Tree Hill too, Mom. She's here as well.
Hello.
Well, you guys did a great job. It was very good tonight.
There you go.
Thank you.
Now, what do you think, Mom? We got a lot of love triangles going on. What?
Oh, yes, but I really like it. I don't like that Beck.
No, you don't like Beck?
No, he's a troublemaker, and I just know he's going to do something next week.
Oh.
He's a real dick, right? I agree.
Yeah, he does. He caused a bit of trouble in this episode for sure.
Yeah.
Even though he apologized at the end, it may have been a false apology. We'll have to
I
wait and
think
see.
it was, Mark. You know it was.
You never know. How about Liam and Robert and Catherine? What do you think about that?
You know what? Liam looks so young next to Robert now.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? I mean, Robert has such a presence about him, and Liam just looked so much younger, but I like him and Kat together.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Mom, because for the first 2 seasons we hadn't met Robert, and Liam seemed like he would make a really great king.
Right.
And maybe he still does, but now that you meet Robert and you meet this guy who was groomed to be the next king, it
Right.
kind of colors Liam in a different light, doesn't it?
It does. It makes him look a lot younger.
Yeah, and you see why the struggle was so much bigger for him when he was thrust into that spotlight.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you're watching, Mom, and I'm glad you're liking it. You got anything for Steven? Any questions for Steven? You want to know what he's wearing?
What do you got on, Stephen?
Mark told me this was a Golden Globes party, so I'm in a suit. But I did come up on a Royals swag sweatshirt.
You know what he's wearing? He's wearing his Royals hoodie like the one you have, the soft one that you love.
Oh, I love that one.
Very comfy, and it's covered in Truman hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll bet.
Truman was sitting on his lap for a while. I know you don't have the show up because you're pacing, worried about your phone call.
Absolutely.
But when you watch it, you'll see that Steven's rocking the Royals cast and crew hoodie tonight.
Good for him. That's good.
Well, Mom, it's
Shout out to Mom.
it's always a pleasure to talk to you. You always have interesting things to say, and I love you and I appreciate you watching. Can we talk again next week?
Absolutely, Marky. Love you back.
I love you too. Next week is our Christmas episode. You're going to love it.
Oh, I know. I can't wait.
All right, we'll talk to you then, Mom. Love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
All right. There's
Yay!
Give it up for Mom. It's for Mom.
She gets very nervous about the call.
I would if
tell
I were her.
I tell her she does a great job, but I think that she gets nervous about it. Jeffrey, what questions have we been avoiding online?
Steven has a question for Steven.
Oh.
Best Mark story. Your best Mark story.
Best Mark
That's
story.
safe for Facebook Live.
Best Mark story, not from Vegas.
Stays there.
Man, what is a good Mark story? Safe for Facebook Live.
Mark's the one with all the stories.
Yeah, I
usually.
know. Help me out here. Hold on. I'm trying to think.
Well, what about
files? I'm censoring.
what about that one?
Oh, that's a good one. Pull that picture off the wall. Bring it over here.
Let's see if I can.
He took me to a Chicago Bears game in Chicago, and I always wanted to go to like a football game in the middle of winter, tailgating, snow on the ground and all that from California. So this is new to me. Sure enough, we go. It's -9 degrees, wind chill. I've got so many freaking layers on. It didn't do crap. I was still freezing. I took my hand warmers, wound up putting them in my boots.
And Mark just has a sweater on.
But here's why. Here's why. That is the coat that fans of One Tree Hill will recognize as the coat that Skills wore to Utah and got into all the clubs. And I was wearing it. But just like on the episode in One Tree Hill, that coat is famous, and whoever wears it gets all the love. So Steven wore it. And the world loves Steven anyway, but they really loved him in the coat. And it was so cold that night that I put a beer in the little cup holder at the seat, and it frosted over.
Oh my God.
It literally turned to slush.
You'd knock the top of your beer, break through, drink a sip, and then put it down, and then go to drink another sip, and you'd be frozen over again. And I was sitting in my seat like, oh my God, like, be careful what you wish for. This is not fun. I'm getting hypothermia watching a football game. I feel very Californian at this moment.
The next time the Bears were on Monday Night
and
Football,
the wallet from that trip.
yes,
I lost my wallet.
that is worth
Conveniently.
that is worth telling.
He brings me out to Chicago, and he's like, "Yeah, come on out." He's like, "You know what? Like, just you can stay at my place. It's all worried. I got the tickets. All this." I lose my wallet as soon as I get there. And we actually used to drive around Chicago, where he's from. We're kicking leaves on the ground. We're checking drive-throughs of McDonald's.
Also,
is that a sponsor of E, by the way?
Also, you gave a shout out to
Drive
Pontiac,
through.
Illinois. I'm
Okay.
from a small town. The entire town found out that Steven had lost his wallet. Everybody's
You live
looking
out the
at
street, everyone's kicking leaves in the curb.
And
Everyone's like,
we would go through town and people were like, "Hey, did you find your wallet?" They're just asking Steven.
we eventually gave up, and then we're going to return the car after
We're finished.
5 days.
The trip's over. We're going back to the airport.
He covered everything. It was awesome. And
Everything.
I get to the airport, and he's like, "Hey, can you get the papers out of the glove box for the rental car?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem." I go in there, and there's my wallet.
In the glove compartment.
Cash, my driver's license.
Which you needed to fly
everything.
anyway,
Yeah, we
so-
were going to see what we could do there. It was going to be a mess, but anyways, I still had...
After
He
5
didn't
days,
accept the money. He wouldn't accept anything. There's just got a great picture of me flipping off my wallet in the glove box.
it was the wallet's fault.
And then when he says to me, he's like, "You know what, man? That wasn't one of our better trips. Maybe the next time."
That's right.
Still a good time.
It's true. But 5 days, searched everywhere for the wallet, but not in the glove compartment of the car. Oh well. But also, Stevens Wallet is really just a rubber band around a bunch of money and credit cards.
That's true. It's not
What he
on me
calls
right
a
now.
wallet.
I actually lost it. Have you guys seen my wallet? Have you
What
seen my
else
wallet?
would they like
It's
to
okay.
know?
Rachel wants to know, was Beck always that much of a snob? He seemed to actually really care for Eleanor, when we previously saw him.
Let's not
Well,
fall for that.
it's.
I don't want
I think what's interesting about that is I think that Beck is a good guy, but you have to understand we met Beck in Eleanor's life when Eleanor was interested in him, and now Beck comes back and suddenly she's interested in someone else, and then we start to see his sort of. That caste system, if you will, where he sort of implies to Jasper, know your station. I think that somebody who's a bit spurned or a bit competitive, those colors started to come out more in Beck, and he did apologize. But yeah, that was a
How
nasty
great
side
was
of Beck.
Eleanor's line when she knocks all of his
Yeah.
medals off? What was it? Have some grace, bitch? What was that? Or asshole? Yeah. Excuse me. It was show some grace, asshole. That's so good.
Yeah, I remember Scarlett had scripted the medals and scripted some patches and things. What else did they give? Insignias and things. And I was like, but they're not going to be satisfying when she throws them off the tray. So then we had to put more medals on there. Scarlett was watching that scene like a hawk. And it turned out great, Scarlett. Well done. Attention to detail. That's right. What else?
Liza wants to know, is Jasper too good to be true? And a lot of people are saying they liked the Jasper call out, verbal call out from Eleanor in the episode. They got to finally, their shipping name.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember when it was scripted, it was fun. We liked it. When you hear it out loud, I'm like, would they? Apparently, those two used that Jasper.
Oh.
I know it's a call out to the fans, and it's nice to give them a little gift. But they wouldn't have seen it in print anywhere because nobody knows about Jasper, nor are they meant to know about Jasper. So that clearly is something that couple uses. So well done, loyals. What else is up? Hey, before we get to that, I wanted to ask you, is there a favorite musical moment that you have from this season or from the show in general?
I mean, I actually really love the princess moment from this episode, the princess song.
You mean the sex scene on the
sex
throne?
scene on the throne, but which isn't, my favorite of all three seasons, but I just felt like it's sweet and romantic and sexy all at the same
solo
time.
came in right
Totally, it has the
right on the sex scene.
porn guitar happening.
That's right.
And I also, for me, I love when we hit the nail on the head, using Sparrow at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
But last season, I feel like one of my favorite moments was the Banner song at the end of season 2, which was recorded just for the show and was a lot of work to pull off. And so I feel sometimes I like uses because a lot of work went into them too and
That's so
passion.
good,
But
And Banner's writes great stuff.
He's
and
awesome.
he's a nice guy. He stepped up and wrote that song for us last season.
He recorded that song for us.
Recorded
Yeah.
that song for us under. It was
time
a ticking
constraints.
clock.
Yeah.
And then this season he did Holy Ground, right?
Yeah, literally that was the label said, "Hey, we have a brand new song from Banners." And Mark was like, "Hey, do we have any other songs to consider for the end montage?"
Yeah.
Here you
Yeah,
go.
he writes great songs. I feel like, I don't know if this is a backhanded compliment or not, but he writes the songs Coldplay used to write. He writes great stuff.
Yeah.
And really sweeping, soulful, poetic stuff. He's really talented. I like that guy a lot. And that was a great placement too. Really good. Anything else before we wrap up?
People are obsessed with Jasper. What's happening with Jasper and Eleanor?
man.
Can you tease us anything? Is it going to be all sunshine and rainbows from now on?
Well, here's the thing. Next week is, I know everyone's done with Christmas, but they're just having Christmas in the palace.
Have a second Christmas.
So next week is a Christmas episode for us, and it's one of my favorite episodes of the season. That musical little fantasy number, that sequence that everyone has seen with Alex singing Winter Wonderland, which was also an undertaking with you and Sid and everything, and Alex really singing that. That's in next week's episode, and it's a big Jaspiner episode. So my answer to that would be next week you're going to get a lot more clarity.
Juicy, juicy,
on that.
juicy.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been wonderful. Stephen, thanks for stopping
No,
by.
thank you for having me.
You got to
Thank
come
you
by
for-
again sometime.
Sure, if we did all right. Well, I'll let you.
You sound unsure
No, I'm
about
good.
that.
You need to think about how this went. Like, let's review Coletti real quick.
You guys like Stephen tonight?
Sending hearts.
Let me tell you something.
Hearts.
No other guest has had Truman on their lap. You get so many points for that. What are you talking about?
Thank you guys for sitting through this with me.
You're always welcome back. And Lindsay, it's been a pleasure for like almost 15 years
I know.
now.
Thanks
Well
for
done.
having
I'm proud
me.
of you. You're doing good.
Thanks, man.
Doing good.
I love what she does. You guys should follow her on Twitter. You put music up on Twitter a little bit? Do you put
What?
music up on Twitter?
Every once in a while, I need to be better about it. I'll be better about it if you
Oh,
follow me.
and before we go, we have a Spotify page, right?
Yes, Spotify playlist of everything used in every season of the Royals. Everything that's on Spotify, like the Charlotte OC song that was used tonight is not out yet, but in March it will be.
All you'd have to do is search for the Royals and it pops up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's, I get so many comments about the music on the show. It's all right there on Spotify. Just go and subscribe and you'll get every week, if the music's available, it'll be on the Spotify. If you want to keep talking about the Royals, and we love it when you do, you can talk on all the social media stuff. There's the face page, there's the Instapic,
Bookface.
there's the
Instagram?
the Twitter, the Instapic,
Snapchat?
right?
Snap.
And
All
the
of them,
Snap and Chat. All that stuff you guys can talk about. All the stuff I don't have. You can talk about the show. Please do. We'll be back next week, episode 6. It's a great episode. You're going to love it. It's one of my
a really
favorites.
good one.
We'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.